Hi, everyone. My name is Bri Anderson, and I'm excited to have the opportunity to present my project to you today. A bit about my background. I've been here in Louisville for over 20 years now. I'm from a military family, so I've spent some time in Virginia, Missouri, and Germany before settling here in Kentucky. I have a bachelor's of design in digital multimedia design from Penn State, and I've recently completed the web development pathway with CodeU. I come from a traditional art background where I focused on drawing and painting, and I made the transition to digital art pretty recently in my journey. When I was in college, I took intro courses in web design and programming with Java, which encouraged me to learn more about the tech field. I discovered CodeU after graduating and chose to participate in the program for the chance to build my portfolio and connect with others in the tech industry. Right now, my goal is to grow professionally by acquiring more work experience, and I'm currently interested in remote, hybrid, or contract positions. For my project, I wanted to learn how to work with the JavaScript library to create interactive visualizations for a data set from the Louisville Open Data website. I focused primarily on creating visuals for the raw data, which was originally presented in a CSV file and table format. I decided to work with this particular data set because I wanted to highlight the state of foreclosures in the city and better understand housing insecurity trends. So the website consists of 3 pages. It has an introductory page with a button used to display information, and it has a page with a chart displaying the number of foreclosures in Louisville over a period of 10 years. And it also has a map page showing the neighborhoods with high concentrations of foreclosure. I used D3 to create a bar chart that visualizes foreclosure data over time. The data was organized by year using a function that allows you to group data into categories. By doing so, I was able to count how many foreclosures happened in each year. The count data was then converted into an array of objects containing the year and count properties, which were used to create the X and Y axis. I created one rectangle per year, and the bar's height is based on the foreclosure count, and they appear along the X-axis in accordance with their corresponding years. The chart has an interactive component. The bar's color darkens, and a tooltip is displayed showing the number of foreclosures that occurred for the highlighted year. And this helps the user find specific values without having to determine the number by looking at the y-axis. I used the leaflet library and map tiles from OpenStreetMap to dynamically create the map. The map is drawn by fetching data from 2 files hosted on GitHub. A neighborhood.geojson file, which contains the boundaries and names of all the Louisville neighborhoods, and a foreclosure.json file, which contains information for the number of foreclosures associated with each neighborhood. The foreclosure count was added to each neighborhood's properties in the GeoJSON data, and a color was assigned to each neighborhood based on its foreclosure count. When you hover over a neighborhood, the name and foreclosure count information is displayed within an info box in the top right-hand corner of the map. And areas with high concentrations like Russell and Park Hill are highlighted with darker colors. One of the challenges I had when working on my project was difficulty understanding how to use D3's rollup function to group my data into the 2 categories I wanted to work with. So I was able to use ChatGPT to assist me with figuring out how to group the foreclosure data by year. And the original data had individual records for each foreclosure, and each one included a full sale state. And I needed to group all the foreclosures by year so I could count how many occurred in each time period. And then I asked ChatGPT how to use the d3.rollup method to accomplish this task, which allowed me to group all of the entries from the dataset by year. I was then able to get the full date using JavaScript's getFullYear method. Another challenge I faced was that I didn't have a ready-made GeoJSON file. And then to overcome this, I used a web application called Felt to create a file containing coordinates in order to draw paths and create the polygons for each neighborhood. And then I used ChatGPT to pull the information I needed from both the newly created file and from the original JSON file. So CodeU has been a great experience for me. I think 2 lessons participating in the program has taught me are the importance of documentation and its role with communicating with other developers, and the need to remain adaptable while working on a project. I've also learned how to incorporate constructive feedback from my mentors and other students, and to prioritize functionality before implementing additional features when working on a project. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I would love to hear your thoughts or feedback about my project. Feel free to reach out to me with any questions or to connect with me on LinkedIn. Thank you so much.